Project Spectrum is the project that we talked about that is will go to in the industrial park. It's on the Caldwell County side. Obviously, it's what I refer to as a greenfield project because there's no building there. We've had numerous communications from that, and I received a communication in the middle of last week from the state of Missouri stating because of COVID that things had slowed up, obviously, but that it was a live project. It was going along fine, and they would keep us up to date, so that's good. Project Resell is a brand new project that came in last week. I put the part of the industrial park on the Caldwell County side. When I explain this, keep your mind open because it's much better than what it actually sounds like. This is a company that actually buys wrecked automobiles, probably from insurance companies as much as anybody. They bring them to their location. They literally take those automobiles and trucks apart, and they will build between an 80 and 120,000 square foot building. Very nice building that's all has racking and everything. They literally put all those parts in that building, clean them up, do everything to them, put them in the building, and then resell those parts. Most of that probably either due to automotive companies needing them or the internet. This is a national company. They have a lot of employees throughout. This is the good part. They're going to hire 50 people and could go up as high as 200. The average wage is $65,000 a year. So we're talking about a nice investment to the community. It certainly would require some fencing, things of that nature. Oh, what I forgot to tell you is that after they take all the parts off that they need, then they take the remainder parts and they literally crush those into 3 feet by 3 feet cubes. They load those on trucks and take them out. So even though it's a car that's been wrecked and taken apart, it's not a junkyard. It doesn't resemble a junkyard. It's very professional. And as you can see, the wages are very good. I think wage-wise, that's an excellent opportunity for our area. There's a lot of folks out there with those type of talents, and I think it would be a great thing for the area. We won't go into the Curnow project because it's still ongoing. I do have some good news. I'm confident most of you will know this, but about 3 years ago, Kent Osborne and I visited with the VA clinic, and we were informed they were looking at expanding the clinic, and then the VA home would take over that space that they presently have. That's been an ongoing thing for, like I said, well over 2 years and almost 3. Happy to announce that they have decided finally on which would be their second location. They had one and then turned it down. That location is that area that's towards the highway over on the west side, right below, I want to say that's Napa Automotive Parts. I'm sure you all really know where the spot is. But it will go in that spot, and they have awarded the contract, and the city has the plans, and so they'll be going from that. So that's a good thing. Here's another reason it's a good thing. I can tell you for a fact that when we first started dealing with them, that the competition wasn't just remain in Cameron. That was their number one choice, but it wasn't a necessity. There were 2 other communities to your south that were very, very much trying to get that project. So the fact we retained it was a good thing. The CID project out on Bob F. Griffin Road, Mike O'Donnell really is the one that has taken that and run with it. We really don't know for sure if it was supposed to start April 1. I don't think they probably got that done, but we're on that, and we want to get that done. We have some good news is the state of Missouri wants to actually expand it if at all possible. And by doing that, they actually will pick up more cost. So we'll find out everything they want to do. We'll get that to the property owners there within the CID district and see if that works for them. The hotel motel tax, I can tell you, is not going to happen this year. The legislature, as you know, like everybody else, because of the virus, is they're going back next week, I think it is. But about all they're going to do is going to be budget. Unless there's a fluke for something being tagged on to something, I don't see that hotel motel tax this year coming out of the legislature. So we'll have to take that and do that again next year, unless there's, like I said, unless it's a fluke. The last thing is a project that the city's been working on. Tim and Steve and Michelle Puckett is wanting to put in an event center. If you're familiar with a place called the Pearl over by Hamilton, south of Hamilton, right off of 13. It's a beautiful event center. She's wanting to do something similar. Probably would actually seat maybe a few more than what they do over there, which is a lot, but it probably will be constructed differently. They have run into some questions on annexation and also questions on incentives, and we're attempting to work that out. Tim's worked very hard trying to find that out. Somebody say something? Nope. And so we just hope that will continue. And I know Steve has been involved in that, and that'll make a nice little project down there. So Mayor, that's all I have at this time, but I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Do you have any comments for Terry?
Terry, where would that event center be? Have they decided that?
Well, it's you have to have patience with me, but it will be to the south of the hospital on that road. And I want to say that road's name is Jones Road. Is that right?
Jones Road?
Yeah.
Jones Road?
It would be off of that road. It would be visible from the interstate. So, oh, I did have one more. I'm sorry, because it just literally came in Friday night late from the state of Missouri. There is a project that is it's a meat packing, not meat packing. They're what's called pack and pick. They will pack their product and they will then they pick it according to orders and ship it out. It's a pretty good sized project. I don't have a whole lot of information. I have a whole lot of stuff I have to turn in, and I will turn that in on Wednesday. But it's a brand new project. I wouldn't get too excited because their first taking is they want a building, and the second one is that they would then want land. I would put them on the Caldwell County side because they did mention, which is an advantage, they did mention that they would like to have the opportunity zone. And of course, we're one of the few around that have that. So we would put that in the Caldwell County side because that's the only side that has the opportunity zone. But they want a site that is pretty much shovel ready, and we're not quite there. So, but we're going to give it a shot and see what it is. It's a good project. It's not a slaughterhouse, so you don't have to worry about that. But it is involved in the meat business. So I don't know what all they do, but I know there's refrigeration involved and all that. So.
Any more questions or comments? Becky?
I must have, Terry, I must have missed the second location for the VA home. What is that? I must have misheard that.
Where is it, or what is it?
What?
Well, it's the present clinic that you have, and they need more larger space. The clinic is out at the VA home. The VA home also wants to utilize that space, and so they're going to build a new clinic, and it will be on that location.
Okay.
Again, it's been about it's as the mayor knows, because she's really lived through it. It's been a long process to get that finalized, just because it's federal government. We've had numerous issues. The project manager, we've gone through 3 project managers right on down the line. So it's been quite a project, but it's good news, and Cameron was able to retain it, and that's the real good news.
Good, okay. I just wondered. Right, good.
Sure.
Thank you, Terry.
Okay, one quick note, if I could add that, a lot of people get the VA clinic and the veterans home confused with each other because they're in the same building, but they're 2 completely separate things. The VA clinic is the federal VA for those veterans who have medical care that is provided by the VA. And the veterans home, of course, is run by the state Veterans Commission. So they're 2 separate things, and just moving to the new location there up on kind of off of Grand Avenue is just a bigger and better facility for many of the people that will be getting VA medical care. And that really is good for the veterans who are kind of north and east of here, because everybody here has to drive down to the VA hospital in Kansas City, and it's a day's effort to get down there to just have small work done. So this will be a big benefit for those people using the VA facility, and it'll also then bring a lot of people here to be able to use this instead of us just being a pass-through on the way to Kansas City. So I'm looking forward to that, and it'll be a great addition to the community.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, it's now time for business. Bill 2020-11 has been postponed. Bill 2020-12 has been postponed.
And Mayor?
Yes?
Mayor, if I could make a comment on that. I have been in communication with the Friends of the Animal Shelter and with Dr. Nada Woodworth, who had first brought up the quarantine issue. And so it may seem that though this is being postponed, it's not being worked on. She and I are working on that together, and we will bring this back to the Policy and Procedures Committee here as soon as we can get that meeting scheduled. So we'll have that ordinance, those 2 ordinances then able to bring back to you. I just want to let you know that we're talking about it and we're working on it, and it'll come to you soon.
Okay, thank you. We will now have a second and final reading on Bill 2020-16.
Bill 2020-16, an ordinance authorizing the city manager of the city of Cameron, Missouri to execute an agreement with Gunter Construction Company for Grote Street improvements.
Bill 2020-16 on a second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, then we'll proceed to vote. Please raise your hand and say aye if you are in favor of it. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? 5 in favor, 0 opposed. I will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2020-16 on a second reading by roll call. Shelley? Wait a minute. Need a motion, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Shelley?
Dennis M. Clark,
Yes.
Becky Curtis, Julie Osmith,
Yes.
Roy Estes,
Yes.
Darlene Breckenridge.
Yes. Okay, it is now time for Ms. from this. Have anything you want to say?